the way of the death, the way of the grave, that everyone claims to be on the true way, and everyone claims that they represent the Divine and that which is clean, that which is wholesome, that which is good. And we've talked before, the proof and a major proof in life is how they end their journey upon this life. We said even for the believer and the one whom is of tafakkur and contemplation, the most important chapter of this life of ours is to write the last chapter. Ya Rabbi, let me to die in faith, to have a good ending which Allah is pleased, and that we inshaAllah gain the love and the infinite rahmah and mercy of Allah by loving His beloved Sayyidina Muhammad, and then entering into the grave and the pains of death, and into the last chapter, Ya Rabbi, with istighfar, forgiveness and a strong ishq and love for Prophet, so that Allah's holy Qur'an become true for us, that I would not punish you while you are amongst them and while they're asking for forgiveness. If we live our life in that reality, that constantly asking Allah's forgiveness, constantly astaghfirullah al-azim, astaghfirullah al-azim, 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 3,000 times, beginning the day with the zikr of astaghfirullah al-azim wa atubu ilayk, astaghfirullah al-azim wa atubu ilayk. Continuously asking Allah's forgiveness for everything I know, Ya Rabbi, and probably 800 things that I don't know that are angering you, and I'm asking that only from the one whom can grant me that forgiveness, astaghfirullah al-azim wa atubu ilayk, and that you grant me that rahmah. And by asking that all day long at the beginning of the day, and then the section after the beginning of the day, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, and salawat on Sayyidina Muhammad, and opens an immense reality for us that we lived our life asking Allah's istighfar and asking for the salawat and durood al-sharif upon Sayyidina Muhammad, and to keep that holy presence, so that the Holy Qur'an becomes a light for us, a protection for us, where we can't rely upon our words but we rely upon Allah's words. That how can I punish them when you are amongst them and they're asking for forgiveness. So we didn't want punishment in this day and on this earth, don't want to walk in Allah's anger on this earth. So continuously asking, Ya Rabbi, astaghfirullah wa astaghfirullah al-azim wa atubu ilayk, that under your name of Al-Azim, in which everything is annihilated, that annihilate my sins and wrongdoings. And that Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of your mercy and compassion, that you dress us and bless us, forgive us our wrongs and grant us your rahmah and mercy, and then durood al-sharif upon Sayyidina Muhammad. If we lived our life with that belief, then the most important of that reality is then the life of the grave. That as we're entering into the grave, that we're asking, Ya Rabbi, grant us istighfar, grant us your maghfirah and your forgiveness, grant us your Divinely grace at this time of need and this hour of need. And that Allah grant that rahmah, grant that mercy. And most important for dhakiroon and those whom they live their life on dhikr of Allah and the salawat and love of Sayyidina Muhammad is what? Is to gain the presence of Prophet. That in their grave the best of guests, the best of lights is the light of Sayyidina Muhammad to come and to bless their grave, bless their abode, bless their presence, so that no difficulty enters into that grave, no hardship is seen within that grave. Means it's such an immense occasion that the true faith is the one whom prepares for that. The ones whom can claim anything they want on this earth, but what they do with their dead is the most important. That the washing, the cleansing, the washing is our ghusl. It's the last wudu, the last ghusl, the last bathing that we'll have as we're on our way to be judged and to meet with the Divinely Presence. Being put into the grave, having a life of dhikr and all the practices of dhikrullah, all of these realities was a dress, and that dress was to be achieved within the grave. And then the people whom they burn their bodies, whom cut up their bodies, every type of craziness that people do to the death, that's a sign for people to look for. Not say, oh this path they teach this one teaches this one teach, but what do they do with their dead and how do they treat those whom passed away? Because the most important process of this earth and the who claimed have the truth of this earth was to be preparing themselves for that event. All that we do on this earth is to prepare ourselves for the eternal abode, the house in the presence of Allah divine the kingdom. So then that single most important event is going to be death. So all these other spiritual paths or new age paths, and then find out from them what do they do with their dead. They cut them up, they throw them out, they discard them, they burn them. That's a sign that they didn't believe in the hereafter. And whatever they claimed on this world and whatever they claimed of goodness and good character were lies. All the goodness and practice of this earth was to prepare us for our meeting with the Lord of Power and the Divine the Kingdom. Means the immensity of these events and these preparations and these days. We pray that Allah dress us and bless us, and that we are amongst those whom continuously move into the light and have an ishq for Sayyidina Muhammad, and that to be under the intercession of Sayyidina Muhammad with our deeds and with our actions, that we gain that nearness, that proximity and that love. And as a result then the final abode to be filled with light and ishq and the companionship of light, that we take into the grave our good deeds, the companions of our good actions, and that we don't want in the grave the companions of all the ill deeds and bad actions and bad character, that we pray that our good deeds overwhelm anything that was done wrong and incorrect, and that the final resting place to be filled with lights and blessings. InshaAllah Allah dress us and bless us with these understandings. Means that when whatever we do it's to reach the last chapter.